Hi, how to write Joeffice in Java in 30 days. My name is Anthony Goubard, and today we're going to talk about icons. This is day 19. So we saw yesterday about creating the installer of the application, but the installer is using the standard NetBeans icon for this, and we want to change it to use the Joeffice icon. So for this, I'm gonna create an icon for the application. I'm using Joeffice, which is an application. Now the application is shareware, but it used to be a freeware, so I still have the freeware version that I'm using to create an icon, and you can create even on Windows both icons for Windows and also for macOS. So you just have to fill the different formats, and it will create for you the icons. And here we have for the big format. Then how to associate the icon with the installer and with the application. For this, I encourage you to read both articles that are posted on the NetBeans about NetBeans and associate icons. So I've also downloaded then the Replace Vista icon application to associate an icon with an executable. Then I've created some end targets for it. So there's one for Windows, and there's one for Mac, and then I replace the different icons, either using the executable replace Vista icons, or whether putting in the app directory for macOS. And once again, also set the icon of the installer and also set the icon for the executable in both of it. Then I wanted to change the title because if you notice when you start the application, today you have the name of the application followed by the date. And you don't want to have this when you distribute the application. So I've replaced the date with the alpha to still mention that it's an alpha version and it's not a finished version. So I've created, to get the alpha, I'm using the character map plugin from JEdit, and then I can copy paste it into the resource bundle where you can specify the title of the application. And now, when I start the application, instead of having the date in the title, I'm having Joeffice Alpha. Then you also have the version in the About dialog. So I've decided that the first version, this alpha version, will be the 0.5 version, and then the date will just be a build version for there. And if we have with the number in there and the build version. Then I wanted also to add more icons to the application for all the different actions that I've done. So I'm using NCommander. This is a freeware file manager that I've written a few years ago. And then it also contains the thumbnails viewer. So you can see all the image in a directory in thumbnails. So I'm using it with opening the file in the zip file of fam icons set, and then copying the icons that I need for the different parts. And here you can see that using NCommander you can also filter according to the name of the files. Also today I've added the possibility to delete text. So as I've already shown you that we're updating the document at the same time as the text pane. And basically deleting text, you can have a big selection. That means it's not only deleting if you have a document, it's divided into paragraph. Each paragraph is divided into runs that are dividing into special parts again. So when you delete a selected part, you need to delete the end of the first selected part and all the complete parts that are completely selected, and then the beginning of the last selected part. And then I've also change the database. At the moment, the first thing that the database was showing all the results in the table, but if you have a big database, that may be a big problem of loading everything in the table. So I've decided to limit the result to, at the moment, like 100, and then you can browse next and previous results. So here we've changed the SQL query to limit to certain result from there. I've also today added an action to enable the possibility to delete an entry from the database. So you can select the row and you can delete it. I've improved a bit the thumbnails part that I've talked a bit earlier. So in the presentation part, you also have thumbnails, and now you can see that the font is scaling correctly, and that also when you select a thumbnail, it will go to this right presentation slide. So it's much easier to follow. And one more thing again today I've done is I've also added notes to the presentation part. And one of the problems with notes that I had is that you don't have a background. That's normally you always have with a slide a background, and notes is a bit kind of a slide that doesn't have any background. So I got some problem with it, but at the end I got it. So I've also added into the palette part of the NetBeans windows, and here you see an application, a presentation, the slide on the back, on the right side, and also a note according to the slide. Well, thanks for watching. This was how to write an office in Java in 30 days, yet another day. Don't forget to share or to like the video or my blog. And hope you will enjoy also the other video. Bye.